Hello, I'm Tim Mollet, and I am a Tai Chi Easy Leader certified through the Healer Within Foundation. I have learned one form to share with you, but there are many Qigong and breathing exercises and movement that we can use to warm up before we get into that form. I would like to share with you the final movement of the form to start with, and then we can work up, and I will show you different exercises and ways of learning the form to get to the final stage. As I step into the form to the left, I form my chi ball to the left. I harmonize yin and yang, return, reform my chi ball, harmonize yin and yang, return, turn that chi ball over, brush the sin chi, reform the chi ball, brush the sin chi, step forward, embrace the tiger transition, step back into cutting a path to clarity, drop the elbows, step back, cutting a path to clarity, come back together, embrace the tiger transition, move to the open spot, turn it over, watch clouds pass by, watch clouds pass by, embrace our tiger transition again, gather heaven, and gather earth. Okay, then I will close the form. And that is the form leading to the left. I will do the form leading to the right next. I will step into the form to the right, form my chi ball on the right, harmonize yin and yang, bring it back, reform the chi ball, harmonize yin and yang again, bring it back, reform the chi ball, turn it over, brush knee and send chi, reform the chi ball, and brush knee, send chi. As I come up and embrace the tiger transition, step back into cutting a path to clarity, drop the elbows, step back into cutting a path to clarity, embrace the tiger transition, move to the empty spot, transition, and watch clouds pass by. Re-embrace the tiger transition and gather heaven. Bring it to heart center and gather earth. And bring it to heart center and close the form. Okay, so now that we have seen the form in its entirety, I'm going to break it down into a class where we can practice the movements and get those down before we get to that final form. So my goal for this one is to do a little bit of warming up and breath work, and then work on the movements within the form itself without the step work or moving from side to side. So to warm up, I want to just raise our hands up and match our breath to our movement. Breathe in, turn it over, and breathe out. Breathe in, turn it over, and breathe out. The next one, as we bring it up, we're going to open up and try to get that breath into the diaphragm to help us relax, and hopefully we can learn a little better in a relaxed state with our breath going to our belly. So, as we correct our posture, we're going to lean just slightly back onto our heels, and then onto our toes, and onto the heels again, and come around on the side of our feet into the balls of our feet, and lower our toes, pinky to the big toe, one at a time. Give us a good grounding. Knees slightly bent, tailbone tucked, chest up, roll our shoulders back, and another time and let them sit comfortably as we shake our head yes. On the second time, as we feel a little tension, raise everything up. It should be a good posture, ready for us to continue. The first thing I want to do is start warming up our spine. So after we've matched our breath to our movement, we're going to start with our head leaning to one side and back up, and leaning to another side, the same side, and back up, and one more, and back up. Now we'll get our arms into it. And don't worry too much about the breath matching now. It will come the more you practice. But if you do, as you lean to the side, breathe in. Try to get it into your side body. And we'll go the other way. Try to keep everything evened out. Tai Chi is about finding our balance, and try to do everything that we do on one side on the other. Okay, so we have side to side. Let's go front to back. So as we put our hands on our buttocks or lower back, stretch up, look up, try to elongate your spine, and then move through and elongate our spine this way. So as we raise up, I'm going to try to get some movement in the wrists, and stop and rotate the other way. Bring that down. I'll try to get some movement in our shoulders. This way you can do a swim this way, and then go the opposite way. Or we can do a swim. The ABCs of Tai Chi are always be comfortable. So it's very adaptive, and the key here is to get some movement. Movement is medicine, as they say. And those creaks and pops are okay. I get them all the time. It makes room for makes space for growth and for what they call synovial fluid to get in there and give us a little lubrication. All right. So now we'll move on to getting some movement in our legs and ankles. So just, if you need to use a wall or a chair for support and balance, go ahead. We just get a little bit of movement into the ankle and the foot. Flex your toes, bring them back. Go ahead and point and flex and rotate. And then rotate to the other side. All right. Now let's switch sides. Go ahead and rotate. And rotate to the other side. And go ahead and point and flex. And we'll come back to our centering. Center. Okay, we're going to do a corkscrew. Get some more creaks and pops and warm up our hips. We have our spine and our wrists and ankles. Now we're going to try to get some movement in our hips before we go into the form. All right. We'll come to a stop and rotate the other way. While we wound up, we must unwind. All right, back to center and centering. Slight bend in the knee, just to get our comfort, used to moving from side to side. This helps us with balance. Here in Central Illinois, we could have any kind of weather. Slip on mud, slip on ice, slip on rocks, slip on all kinds of things. So hopefully this will help us with our balance. As I drop the energy, I breathe out and raise it to center and start to breathe out. Coming back to center, I'm going to step into the form and show you the form where there's no steps involved. So this will be our first entry into the form. So as we step into the form, I stepped with my left, so I formed the chi ball to the left. With the weight movement, I'm harmonizing yin and yang. So bottom comes across, forms the bottom of the chi ball. Top forms the chi ball, closes it, as though I'm tossing a frisbee and parting a wild horse's mane. I bring the bottom around, hold the chi, top hand closes the chi, and throw a frisbee and part a wild horse's mane. We'll continue this and try to get that motion down. This is about harmonizing the polarities in our life, all the things pulling us in many different directions. Being raised a good Catholic boy, I was taught there was an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other. I had to listen to one of them. Now, I'm trying to harmonize them and get them to work together and accept that there is both good and bad in me. I'm not always perfect. I make mistakes, but I can rotate and harmonize it and move on. Can also look at the dark night and the white knight. They're not the ones that got the Holy Grail. It was Parsifal, pierced the valley. He was centered and knew what his goal was. Okay, so one more, back to where we were. Turn it over, our chi ball. Top hand moves across, brush knee, send chi. Recover our chi ball, brush knee, send chi. Recapture our chi ball, brush knee, send chi. Capture our chi ball, brush knee, send chi. So we have good and bad chi in us. Sometimes our energy is a little haywire and angry, and we can just send that chi out to the universe. It's a big old universe, it'll dissipate. Hopefully not send it towards anyone in particular. Just send it out and get it out. We also have good chi. So if someone needs a good blessing and some good energy and good chi, we can send it to them in particular. Kat, my camera woman's looking a little nervous, so I'm going to send her some good chi. Brush knee, send chi. Brush knee, send chi. And as I said, this is all adaptable. We can do this in the chairs as well. So one more to both sides. And we are going to come to a tiger transition. And here we move into cutting a path to clarity. A lot of times in my life, my anger comes from confusion and not knowing the situation. So this can be a very meditative movement, and just cut that path to clarity. Just extend our arms, drop our elbows, rotate and come through.
Okay.
So as we come out of the final, we go into another tiger transition. Front hand takes the empty spot, and we turn it over and begin cloudy hands or watching clouds pass by. We are facing ourselves, upper hand leads. We go in just a meditative movement. so, with the upper hand leading in the transition, we can act as though we're gently holding a cloud, or possibly even a newborn baby or something. Just hold it gently and cradling. And sometimes in our lives we have some thunderstorms that come through, big angry clouds. We can just observe them and let them pass. Go a little quicker if we need to. And sometimes we have some very pretty, lazy clouds just passing by. And we can go slow and relaxing and enjoy those clouds passing. All right, so one more to both sides. And we embrace our tiger transition again. And we move into gathering heaven and gathering earth. And bring them to heart center and meld together all the goodness of heaven at our heart center and all the goodness of earth into heart center. And bring it in. Heaven and gathering earth into the great human beings we are, meeting at heart center. And gather heaven and gather earth. And if your back hurts or whatever, you don't have to bend down that far. You can just do the arm motions. This is all adaptive. There are no heroes here. If it starts to hurt, make a change and adapt to what's comfortable with you. The important thing is the movement. Try to continually stay in a movement. Keep our energy flowing without starts and stops. Okay. So as I gather earth one last time, I'm going to close the form. Hold it for a moment. Do a quick Muji meditation as we start in position 1 with our hands out. Just take some deep breaths in and gathering breaths. Position 2, holding those energies in as though we're hugging a tree or hugging a light beam. Or hold that energy in. 3 or 4 good breaths until you take in a good deep one. Out in position 3, where where we're sending energy and receiving energy. Yeah, good breath in there. Then position 4, we're sending energy to heaven and receiving it. And bring it around to position 5. Hold it to our lower dantian. Okay, thank you. I want to thank you for practicing Tai Chi with me. The fist is for our strength and unity, and the open hand is for friendship. Namaste. Thank you for practicing Tai Chi with me.